Want to make a movie by yourself? Don't know how to do it? Here's my top 5 tips. Hey everybody, my name's Josh Sowden with Self Esteem Productions, and I have now shot 3 feature films. The 3 films that I've shot, Extra Mundane, that was my very first horror feature film that I shot entirely by myself. That was right after the pandemic, so I really was cautious with how we were doing things and what we were doing. That was a lot of fun to shoot. That's available on streaming now. My second film was Our Man in LA. There, I was hired as the director and cinematographer. And then again, my most recent, The Book of the Witch, it was a 6-day feature film shoot. And of the 6, 2 of the days I was by myself. And then 4 of the days I was so fortunate to have help. So it was 2 of us instead of just 1, along with numerous short films, which you can see on this channel. Number 1, write reasonably. What do I mean by that? So I use a book called Save the Cat, which is absolutely incredible. I'll leave a link below for it. Not sponsored here, but love the book. That is a great reference for writing your script. Great advice, easy to follow. You want to write the script as big as you can think of it. You know, I use that as a template, and then I write the big grand script. Then I'll sit down and kind of do a second pass where I'm like, okay, what's actually possible for me to shoot on a low to no budget? What's possible here? What can I actually pull off? So there, I'll kind of get more into the minutia of the story. Maybe I wrote an office building, but really, you know, I know a friend with a warehouse. That kind of stuff, you start kind of reorganizing and thinking, okay, how is this actually possible? It's like the Book of the Witch. I thought desert, and then I was lucky enough to have access to a vacant office building. So those were my 2 main locations. So you're just trying to find ways to get the story that you want to tell, but now let's condense it from this big grand story into something a little more manageable. Number 2, cast talent. So if you're doing a film like this, you're probably shooting as a 1-2 person crew, maybe 3 if you're lucky. That's great. Even if you have to dish out a little more money than you were hoping for an actor, I recommend it. You'll notice in a lot of my shorts and features, I reuse a lot of the same actors. That's because I know they can do the job. I trust them, or I've been fortunate enough to see them work elsewhere in a play or through a friend, and I know they're perfect for that character and they can get what I need done. When you're shooting as a one-man crew, typically camera's on your shoulder, you're in charge of everything. So running sound, you're in charge of obviously camera, focus, framing. You're worried about so many things that the last thing you really want to worry about, the acting. So you hire someone competent, professional, talented, you know will come in, nail that role, get the job done, and you guys can get out of there. Break it down with them before you ever start shooting. So I'll go through the scenes with my actors, we'll talk about the scenes, we'll break them down, we'll do a rehearsal if we can. Everyone's on the same page, so when we show up to shoot, we know the starting point, we know where we're starting, and then we can work from there. Lighten the equipment load. So look, keep your equipment small. We live in an era now where you can just get things that are no bigger than this 9 times out of 10. I have a light that I use as a sun, which I will show you here in my upcoming horror short film that I shot for this year's Halloween in 2024. That it's a little 100 watt Zune Mullis X100. It's an 100 watt, but you can stick it anywhere. It's about this big, a little bigger than your cell phone, and it works. Throw some fog, I got a cheap fog machine from Amazon, into the scene, and voila, you have sunlight. You don't need a 600 watt big light outside your window blasting in. Same goes for camera rig. You want to try to get a compact cinema camera. They make so many now. You can get one used for a great price. You can rent them for cheap, but you want to keep it small and light. Have your rig be small and light so you can maneuver quickly, and you can get the shots you need. One thing you always hear, time is money, right? So in this level of independent filming, you really have to move. So you want your equipment to be small, you want it to be compact, get you the shots that you want, and be able to move on to the next shot really quickly. I did a video, which I'll post in the description below, where I broke down my triple rig. So it's a rig that I built where I have it on the tripod, so you can pan and tilt, then you can pop it off on a quick release, and now it's a shoulder rig. Okay, there's 2. Then you can also keep it on the tripod, pop only the camera off, and then put that on a quick release, which it's on already, onto a gimbal. So now you've got gimbal shots. There are just so many variations. You can also pop it off, put it on a car rig, a suction mount rig on a car. So you want to be flexible and be ready to do kind of everything quickly. And then take your time while you're getting the shot. Make sure you get what you need. But those in between times, you really have to cut down. Same goes with audio. I've done reviews on Zoom F3, Zoom F2. I'll put it below. 32-bit float, so you don't have to worry about if someone whispers or someone screams in a scene unexpectedly and, oh no, I missed the gain and it peaked. Just have a decent mic and have those, going. There's tons of videos on how to lavalier. There's tons of videos on how to properly boom. And just roll sound, roll camera, and you're going. Number 4 is use natural light. Use it to your advantage. Look at The Revenant, what they were able to pull off. Now, granted, better cameras, all that, I get it. However, I really, really love what I've been able to do in my first 3 films with just natural light. That, just a sun rising silhouette shot. The sequence right after that, which will be in the film when it comes out, all of it was natural light. I rarely used a bounce or an additional light. And that's because I was getting what I want. You have to position the actors in a way that in frame, it looks how you want it to look and you're getting what you need to get. If you need a bounce, absolutely, I've done it. If you need a small light just to fill the face and the eyes, go for it. But again, keeping it mobile, keeping it quick. I'll have the actor kind of position themselves in a way the light is just hitting them, and we call it backside key, right? So it's hitting them on the backside, camera's over here, light's hitting them on this side, and I get that dynamic backside key where, it's shadow on camera side, and then you've got the light on the other side. So I'm just positioning them and using the natural occurring light to light the scene. And that's pretty much all I need. Then in post, I can kind of pull and tweak things a little bit to make them pop a little more, bring the background down, and you've got that dynamic cinematic shot that you want. It's not always that easy, but I would say use natural light as much as you can to keep things moving, but also give it a kind of a realistic, natural feel, and then you can tinker with the color and everything in post. And my last big piece of advice, test everything. So I've done it. I got this cool gimbal and I want to go use it on this movie, and we go to shoot. I've turned it on a few times, I've balanced it, like I'm running around my living room great, but then I get there and something goes totally wrong. Then 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes goes by, and I'm still trying to figure this thing out because I'm not, rookie move, I know, but I've done it. So test everything, test your audio, test your lavaliers on yourself, record yourself walking around the house for a while, go outside, shoot things with a gimbal. Don't go blind, don't get a new piece of equipment right before you start shooting. Give yourself time to use it, break it in, and feel it out, because the last thing you want is to be on a set where you're trying to move this quickly and your equipment malfunctions and it's just excruciating while you try to fix it. This is honorable mention. Be flexible, because you're going to have a big script with a big plan and a bunch of actors, and you're ready to go shoot this thing, and you've got your audio and your camera and you're so excited, and you get there and it's cloudy and you thought it was going to be sunny. So you have to be ready and thinking about all of these things. Maybe you were planning this parking lot would be empty at 6 a.m. So you're going to go shoot in a parking lot. You get there full of cars. Okay, well, what are you going to do? What's plan B? You can't just call off the shoot. You've paid for the actor to be there. What's the plan B? Maybe you're shooting a little higher, so you're cutting the cars out at top. Maybe you just reposition them differently, getting a little different light, but it still works for you. Maybe there's a different parking lot, you had a plan B. All of this stuff matters. So, you want to be flexible with the actors. Give yourself some love. If you are shooting as a one-person crew, it is hard. I have had excruciating back pain and troubles, and you just have to overcome and keep going. So I say all of that. Hope you guys make your movie. I hope to see it. Let us know more advice in the comments below. Would love to hear other advice to shooting, and want to see your movie. All right, guys. See you on the next one.